Hello, Greg from Balloon Market here, and welcome to BMTV. Well, I hope you're having a good week. I'm not sure if I'm having a good week because we're recording this on Monday, so I don't yet know if I've had a good week. But I had a good weekend. Hope you had a good weekend. I watched two films over the weekend. The first was Spectre, James Bond. Oh, I can't go wrong with James Bond. 2.5-hour marathon film. It's massive. But I did that when I was doing the ironing. Little secret there. I do all the ironing in our house, do it on Sunday evenings, and I would normally watch a film. So I had a lot of ironing to do yesterday, so I chose this 2.5-hour James Bond film and really enjoyed it. However, the film I enjoyed the most was one we watched on Saturday night as a family. And it was an animated film. Now, I love animated films, they're great, but I've got an 8-year-old and a 13-year-old, so that basically means for the last 12 years or so, whenever I'm watching a film, a family film, it's been an animated film, which gets a bit tiring. Anyway, we rented Sing on Amazon Prime, and I loved it. It was absolutely awesome. Do you remember when renting a film, you used to have to go to Blockbuster and pay you $3.75 or $4.25 and take it back the next day, or you get charged? Anyway, times changed so much, and it's not that long ago, really. Anyway, Amazon Prime, $1.99. It's on special at the moment. You can hire it, rent it for $1.99, and you get it for 48 hours. Or you can buy it for $13.99. There you go. But I loved it, absolutely loved it, and I enjoyed. There's music in it. It's called Sing, obviously it's about singing, and the music in it is from the 1970s right up to modern day. There's some, adult humour in there that the kids probably wouldn't get. It's great, but I was trying to analyse why I loved it so much, and I think it's because it's about a businessman. The main character is called Buster Moon. That's it. Couldn't remember Buster. I always want to say Harvey Moon, which is a series from the 1980s. The main character is called Buster Moon, and he's a koala. And he owns a theatre, and the theatre's failing. He's not doing very well, and he's sort of running away from the bank manager and not taking calls and running away from people that he owes money to. But he still stays so positive. Anyway, his next show is going to be the big one, and it is a talent contest. And he has a prize of $1,000. His assistant accidentally adds 2 zeros to make it $100,000. So loads of people come in and audition. That's the word I'm looking for. And yeah, it's just some really funny scenes there. But the main message of the film is about fear, and don't let fear stop you doing what you love. And that was really key, because I think it just relates so directly to business. Because I think when we all start our businesses, or if we wanted to take our businesses to the next level, whatever that might be, if you want to move from being home-based to having a commercial unit or having a shop, or you want to take somebody on, whatever that might be, there's always going to be that fear. And it absolutely linked to that, because there's one scene where he's talking to Mina, and Mina's an elephant, and she's got an amazing voice, absolutely amazing voice, but she's really shy and really quiet and really scared. So she's working backstage on this show that he's putting together, and he said, "So Mina, are you going to give it a go? Are you going to get out there on stage today?" And she said, No, I don't want to." He said, "Well, why not?" He said, "Because I'm so afraid." And he says, you know how to deal with fear, don't you?" "No." And he says, "You just start." I said, "What do you mean?" "You just start singing. And then once you start singing, you're doing what you love, doing what you've always wanted to do. And then it takes over and you just carry on." And that's just like business. And I think a lot of people face the fear of starting, of growing, of moving to that next level. And so they're frozen by it. So I think you've got to consider the what ifs. And I think that's what a lot of people end up focusing on. If you focus on the what ifs, you'll never do it. But consider the what ifs and then put them to one side. If you said, "What if I go outside and trip over on the pavement?" You'd never go out anywhere, because you'd be worried about tripping on the pavement. So it can happen, but you just put it to one side because the likelihood is low. So that's what it's all about, really. It's about fear and overcoming that fear. They say courage, don't they? They say courage is not the absence of fear, but acknowledging that fear and doing it anyway. I thought of an example, actually. When I used to work on the ships, go to a place called Acapulco in Mexico, and there's guys that dive off the cliffs. Just type Acapulco cliff divers into Google, and you'll see them. They jump off. You can't tell me that they're not a little bit afraid every time they do that, because if they get it wrong and the waves are going down rather than up when they hit the water, there's a good chance they can hit the rocks and they could kill themselves. So they feel that fear, but they do it anyway. And there's performers, actors, sports people that feel fear and get sick before they do whatever it is they do. And they go out and they perform amazingly. So I think fear is okay, but you've just got to acknowledge it. But take action, move and do it. And that's how you'll get through it. So yeah, you go, a little business tip of the week there. The business tip is actually watch Sing, because it's really awesome. So if you are feeling down at all about anything, watch Sing and it'll really cheer you up. Right, it is September, in case you hadn't noticed. And it is, well, I was on the website of the Office of National Statistics website and found out that the 26th of September specifically is the day of the year when more people are born than any other day of the year. Now, I'm not sure why that is, but it does just happen to be 9 months after Christmas Day. Maybe that's got something to do with it. Anyway, the end of September is when more babies are born than any other time of the year. So you might want to think about stocking up on a few more baby balloons. So I've brought a couple up here, the blue and the pink from the Qualitex baby there, and the blue and the pink footprints as well. But of course, if more people are born every year, that means there's going to be more birthdays. So you might want to consider stocking up on all birthday ranges. But yeah, September the 26th, more babies are born than any other time. Little interesting fact for you there. Right, recently we've had a few retailers come to us and they've said we want to start selling balloons. So these are convenience store retailers or retailers that don't sell balloons at the moment. And so we've suggested a retail starter kit, and some of them have taken them. We've got one customer who's got 6 stores and he's taken retail starter kits, and they only take up, if you head back 2 years and a couple of stone ago, unfortunately, 2 years ago, and you'll see BMTV 18, and I was talking about our retail starter kit. It comes with the spinner, it comes with the helium, the nozzle, the weights, the ribbon, and of course the balloons. And you can choose 100, 250 or 500 balloons. And it's a really good way to get into selling balloons. You make some big savings by getting these kits, and they only take up this much space because they're on a spinner. It's a few square feet, really. There's not a lot there at all. So it's really good for retailers that they can just put it at the end of an aisle or somewhere where they've just got a bit of space. But you've got 48 different designs. Well, we've updated those designs from that show that we did a couple of years ago. And that's what we do. We don't want to sell the naff stuff. We want to sell you the good stuff so that you'd be able to sell it. And that's what we've done. As an example, we got rid of Jake and the Neverland Pirates. And now we've got Pokemon and things like that. We just add Paw Patrol's another one that we've introduced as well. So we don't want to sell the naff stuff. So if you've got any thoughts that you think we could update, please let us know, because we'd always like to know. Anyway, we had some people say, I really like the retail starter kit, but I've got a helium already. Can you do one without the helium? Okay, yeah, we'll do that. And then after that, a few people started coming to us. I've got the helium and the stand and everything. I just want the balloons. Can you do me a discount if I buy however many 100 balloons? So we put some balloon-only packages together. Anyway, that's grown. And we have a lot of money-saving kits now. So if you go to the website, balloonmarket.co.uk, click on the banner at the top. We've also got one at the bottom that says money-saving ranges. And just have a look around and see what we've got. I've brought some of them up here today. There are a lot more than this, to be honest. There's a lot more than I realised. So I've brought an example of the oak tree balloons up. That's the pink ones. I think you get 5 balloons of each. Don't quote me on that. Of each age. But you get a saving on all of these. So, and the same, these Qualitex ones, the 1 to 5, the pink and the blue. The Qualitex confetti ones there as well. Banners, so I think you get 6 banners, I think. Again, don't quote me on that. But you get multiple banners, but you get the full range. Same with bunting, some candles down there, confetti, the Qualitex bubble balloons, Snazaroo face paint, and badges. And there's more. There's orbs. There's a whole latex balloons as well. I didn't bring up any latex balloons, but there's latex ranges as well. And I think the great thing about these, if you're starting out or you're thinking of introducing a range, you can introduce a range and save money on that particular range. So say you are thinking of getting the Qualitex candles there, you can get those and save, it's normally 5%. So you've saved money, and if they don't go as well as you thought, well, you've not lost as much money. But in all likelihood, they will sell well and you'll come back and buy more. And that's the whole point of these kits. We've also got these as well. These are the volume. I brought up ribbon just to represent the bulk purchases, the bulk savings. So if you buy 6 spools of ribbon, each spool of ribbon is at a lower price than if you buy 1 spool of ribbon. So we've got the ribbons there, we've got weights and others. So you can just see on the money saving ranges, just click on those banners. You'll be able to see the full range of what we've got. If you're actually, we've not had those banners on for a while, so if you're actually on the navigation of the website, if you click on the drop down and you go to the bottom right hand corner, you'll see money saving ranges there. And it's on mobile, it's just down at the bottom of any navigation as well. So you can get to them anywhere, but there's quite a lot and we are constantly adding to them. So yeah, if you want to save some money, have a look at those, and if you are wanting to introduce a range, it might be worth trying one of those. Now, feathers. Now, we've had feathers for a while. Just to recycle a joke, they're flying out the door. Recycling jokes, that's terrible. Anyway, yeah, feathers, birds flying. Anyway, they're flying out the door. And we've had the 250 gram bags for a few months now. We did talk about getting a smaller bag. We've decided on the 50 gram bags, which should fill between 5 and 10 balloons, depending on how many feathers you put in each balloon, maybe a few more. They are on order, so they will be with us, hopefully, by the time you're watching this, hopefully within a couple of weeks. So as soon as they're available, you'll see them on the website. We will let you know. And the last thing I want to talk about is, you remember the other week I talked about the unicorn, the pastel coloured unicorn head from Amscan. And I said they've discontinued it. We asked them to bring it back. They have, they're bringing it back. So really pleased about that. They say a few weeks away, so I'm not too sure of an exact date at this time. Literally, Rachel just came up as I was preparing for this, and she just said, just so you know, look at this, and she showed me, and yes, they are. They've also got some other unicorns coming in as well, so some sparkly holographic type ones with a gold horn and some other 18-inch balloons as well. So unicorns are still going wild, absolutely wild. So there you go. Well, that's it from me this week. Question of the week: what film do you find the most uplifting? What's the most uplifting film you've ever watched in your life? Leave your comments down below on Facebook and on YouTube. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for subscribing. See you next time. Bye.